is a Tatra 603. It was built in 1968 by the communists in what was then Czechoslovakia. It's the same year that my mom, my dad, and myself were forced to flee Czechoslovakia from the communists. So, you might be asking yourself, why am I driving this Tatra 603 across 2 continents and 4,000 miles from Prague to Pebble Beach? The easy answer is because this year the prestigious Concours d'Elegance, the most well-respected, the most sought-after, the most expensive car show in the world is featuring the Tatra. And it was a great chance for me to show off the best and the brightest cars that were built by the Czechoslovakians. The harder answer is, I honestly don't know. And maybe, just maybe, that's why I'm taking this journey. So, welcome to Prague. What a gorgeous city, huh? This is the place where I was born, and this is where our journey begins. In fact, tomorrow, today's, well, day 0. Tomorrow we go and pick up the Tatra and get all the paperwork done. But today, let's just enjoy the splendor of the city as we get ready to try this incredibly daunting trip over 4,000 miles from here all the way to Pebble Beach. This is a Skoda. In fact, it's the top of the line Skoda, the Skoda Superb. And I'm driving it because Volkswagen was kind enough to give this to us as a chase car for the Prague to Pebble or bust. But this is the car that we really care about. The Tatra 603 that TFL is now the proud owner of. And I'm up here at the top of, well, it's not the top of the world, it's a hill called Ještěd. Near Liberec, which is about 115 kilometers outside of Prague, where we just purchased this car. Now we're going to take the Tatra, we're going to drive it to Prague and officially start the journey. So, here's what happened. We almost weren't able to take possession of the car because there's a lot of logistics that have to happen when you're trying to drive a car across Europe and of course across America. And this is it. This is our huge headquarters and this is all the ownership papers, the result of probably about a month of hard work. Come on over here, I'll tell you about it. Coolest thing that I own right now, or that we own, besides the car of course, is this. This is called the Technický průkaz, or basically kind of the ownership papers of the car. And what's really cool about it is, if you look here, it's got the complete history of everybody who's owned the car. And I think we are now the 5th owners. Check this out. See the little Czech line there? It's got the star above its head. That's when this was communist. That was representing the Russian communist star above the head of the Czech lion. So you know that this car was manufactured under the communists. There was one guy here who owned it from 1977 to 2000, which was right through the Velvet Revolution in 1991, I believe. And then, check this out. Here are a bunch of cool pictures of the car, but the coolest one perhaps, let me get that for you, is over here. The owner gave us these. This is what the car looked like after it was restored. And perhaps the scary one is, this is what it looked like before it was restored. So whoever had it up to about 2000 probably let it deteriorate a little bit. I mean, look at that. The other way you can start a Tatra is obviously from the front with a key, or we'll start a switch right here. So let's give that a try. Look at that, starts right up. Here's what happened and how we dodged a bullet. We went to the police station to officially change ownership of the car for me and TFL to become the owner. And we got there and there were, I don't know, so many people in line that we had to go to a machine and push a button to give us a number so that we could actually have the police give me a new number plate and take ownership of the car. The machine said, "You're out of luck. We have no more numbers." And I was like, "Oh my God, what did we do?" So we found a woman who worked there and who said that there is nothing, of course, in a typical communist sort of era way that she could do about it. We'd have to go online. So we went online. The next appointment, 14 days. It was 14 days, and we're only here 5 days, which meant flying back to America and coming back in 2 weeks to actually go do the official paperwork. And so we were completely hosed. And we're talking about this, me and Mr. Bushik, the previous owner, and this woman overhears us, and I said, "You know, I can't come back. I'm from America." And she said, "You know what? I came in this morning and I got 2 numbers by accident, and I threw one away in the toilet." I'm like, "You have a number? You have a number to go?" And she goes, "Yes." And she said, "Let me go check in the bathroom." So I'm sitting there on pins and needles. The bathroom's occupied. I'm afraid that somebody else is going to get the number. She comes out and she gives us the golden ticket. And we had a number to get in line to change ownership. And 2 hours later, after dealing with all the insurance, because you have to have insurance to drive the car, I own the car, and TFL is on the way to Pebble Beach. Now you might be wondering why you'd have a button to start the Tatra from the back. Well, imagine if you're a communist bigwig and you're sitting in the back of the car and something goes wrong with this engine. You don't want to be up there having to go to the driver's seat and actually steering the car. No, if you're the chauffeur and you fixed it, you can just hit the button back here and never bother who's ever in the back seat. All right, gang, I'm here in the Tatra, and this is where our journey begins because we're almost to the center of Prague. And I'm giving my aunt and uncle a ride in the Tatra along with Tommy, our photographer. Say hi. Hey. And the really cool thing about this Tatra is that even though it shifts kind of funky, second gear may be on the way out, people here give me a break. I mean, this is a big city. A couple million people live here, a lot of cars, a lot of traffic, and yet, you know, sometimes when I don't quite hit the first gear like this and there's people waiting for me behind me, no one's honking at me. People give me a huge smile, or when I almost miss second gear like that. Welcome to Malostranské náměstí, not quite the center of Prague, but pretty darn near. It's the area underneath the castle, and I'm here because this is the kickoff, the official kickoff from Prague to Pebble Beach, because this is Prague and the next stop is Pebble Beach. Tomorrow we go to WOLFSBURG, Germany, Bremerhaven, Baltimore, and then the adventure really starts. And I wanted to give the old Tatra 603 a last taste of its hometown before we leave here forever. But you know what? That's what this is about. It's about bringing cars to life. A car dies in the garage, it's in hospice in the museum, and this is a living and breathing thing. And you can tell by the people looking at it, it's bringing joy to people in this town. Alright guys, we're about to head to the boat, actually WOLFSBURG, so the Tatra is leaving the Czech Republic for the first and last time, I believe. And starting a Tatra is not like starting a regular car. First you have to open the front, as Tesla would say, the front trunk. And then right here, there are 2 batteries. There's actually 2 6-volt. There's a 6-volt here and a 6-volt there. And what you do is you turn the batteries on. Now you could of course leave the batteries on the whole time, but with 45-year-old wire in here potentially that can get fried, it's smarter to turn the batteries off and turn the current off to the car. Then you open the hood, I guess, and 2 carburetors, and here's where the fuel comes in. And it's good to prime the carburetors because the gas evaporates out of the carburetors. So we just prime them, pump the gas in, like so. That looks good. Leave that open just in case we need to get at it. I can get into the car, get the key, put the key in the ignition. Okay, that's not the ignition key. There's a bunch of keys, most of them are to the door. There's the ignition key, turn the ignition key, pull out the choke, give it a little gas.
No, you're in gear.
Take it out of gear, thank you. Out of gear, make sure the brake's on. There it goes, huh? Look at that, first time. Did we buy the right car or what? And now we're just gonna let it run and warm up a little bit. As you look in there, you'll see those two belts. Those turn these fans, basically giant turbines that cool the engine. And if those belts ever break, then this engine's gonna fry itself. Basically, it'll just get too hot and you'll completely lock it up and then you'll need a new engine. So we wanna make sure that those belts are always running. And there's a little light in the car that tells you that they're always running. It sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. So yeah, that's the fun. This is an adventure. We lucked out on the weather. I mean, it's almost perfect. It's probably, what would you say, in the 70s, Tommy?
Yeah, probably in the 70s.
Yeah, with an air-cooled engine, it's always good to have cooler temperatures. Not too cold, but certainly cooler so that it doesn't overheat. And not a cloud in the sky. In the 70s.
All is well.
All is well. Let's hope we can say that when we get to Bremerhaven. So we're getting close to the German border, and I tell you, this is a fine traveling companion, this Tatra. Back in the day, this must have been quite the luxurious and comfortable way to travel. The numbers are actually quite astounding. Documented, it says that it cost, in today's dollars, $200,000 USD to build one of these cars. So, from the Czech Republic standpoint, this was right up there with any Bentley or Rolls-Royce. These are not inexpensive cars. Of course, you couldn't buy them. They were given to government officials to use as part of a government agency, but $200,000 seems like a heck of a lot in today's money. But the more I drive it, the more value I see in this car, the more I'm becoming friends with it, especially on such a beautiful day and such a beautiful countryside. It just drives really nicely, except for, of course, the speedometer, which is giving up the ghost a little bit. Our first casualty. So come over here. So we have an entire support team. We've got the previous owner, Jerzy Bushik, over there. He's coming with us to make sure that we get the Tatra all the way to Bremerhaven. I couldn't have gotten any luckier with the people who own this Tatra before me. Jerzy Bushik and his buddy over here are just really helping us out, and very grateful for that. Okay, so we're on the Autobahn now, which of course means that there's no speed limit. Tell me, why don't you roll on the speedometer? That's 130. There we go. 140. At some point, these front wheels might get a little light. 150. Getting close to 150 here. That's almost 100 miles an hour. Getting very loud. And that's right there. That's 160 miles an hour in a 160 kilometers in a 45-year-old car. Downhill, maybe with the wind. I think that's about as fast as we want to go. 100 miles an hour. So we know she'll do 100. Or the Tatra will do 100. Wow, that's pretty impressive. 160 kilometers. We are just flying. I'm just waiting for something to go, which would not be good. So I think we're going to back off. We did our high-speed test. And you know what? There was still room to go. We could have gone faster. We could have maybe taken up to 180. But that's where Mr. Bushik, the owner, who's right behind us, by the way, said the front end starts to lift up and you start to get this kind of squeaking noise as the front wheels leave the pavement. And we don't want to go there. So yeah, 160 kilometers. Woohoo! So if you're into Volkswagens, this is the place to visit because, oh my God, there is some history here. But next we have an appointment in Bremerhaven where we have to put this Tatra 603 on the boat and get it over to Baltimore. So far, so good. This has been an easy journey. The next 300 kilometers should be easy as well. Keep your fingers crossed. My stomach because I'm hearing noises, I'm feeling vibrations, and I'm like, come on, Tatra, you can make it, you can make it. Just hoping these last, whatever it is, 5 kilometers or so. Hold together, Tatra, you can do it, you can do it. Not much farther, we're gonna make it. We're gonna get you on the boat and get you over to Baltimore. They sent us to a different place. It's going to close pretty soon, so we're going to the other place right now. Hopefully we can find it. Imagine this, we arrive at Bremerhaven and the port and the offices of the shipping line close at 4:30 and it's 4 o'clock and we're driving around with Mr. Bushik, the owner, behind us in this spaghetti maze of roads and millions of cars being shipped around the world. We finally find the right office and there's 15 minutes to spare and I go into the office and I say, I've got the car here, where do I take it to get on the boat? And they say, do you have your German customs declaration? And I'm like, German customs declaration? I didn't know I needed a German customs declaration. And the guy looks at me, yep, we sent it to you, nothing we can do. And keep in mind that we have to drive back to Prague now because Mr. Bushik has to go back to work the next day. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I am completely screwed. Luckily, a guy overhears this in the office and says, if you have exact change, we'll actually do the customs declaration for you. And I go, how much? He goes, 100 euros. And I go, okay, let me check. Reach in my wallet, have 60 euros. And I go, will you take dollars? And he says, yes, but only if you have exact change. Look in my wallet and get this. I had 6 20s, a 10, a 5, and a 1. Not 2 ones, not less than 1, but exact change. It was incredible. So that's the boat. Hopefully the Tatra is going on. I got here just in time. They close in 10 minutes. And we found the place. It was a little touch and go because we have to get back to Prague tonight. And that's another 8-hour drive just to go back from here all the way to Prague. And Mr. Bushik was kind enough to follow us, but I can't ask him to have another day off. So we got the car, hopefully, on the boat. We're doing the paperwork. I didn't have euros with me, so they're taking dollars. So far our luck continues to hold, and Prague to Pebble Beach is all steam ahead. So we have good news and we have some bad news. We got the car on the boat, which is the very good news. It always breaks, but this delicate shifter finally gave up the ghost. It's yeah, it's not working right, and it's definitely broken. The car still shifts, but barely. Look at that, it starts like a top. So now we're gonna have to get it home and hopefully find somebody who can work on a Tatra 603 shifter. See, look, it's all coming out. It's just not. Let me put this down. It's not working right. That's not. That's fourth. There we go. That's first. But it's not going in very well. It's obviously broken. Pieces are, you can see pieces are hanging off of it. And yeah. So we have some issues. So we have a ticket to ride, but in true Prague to Pebble or bust, the car is a little bust. The shifter's not working, and we're gonna have to figure out how to get it fixed or sorted in Baltimore. So next time I see you, we'll be working on that. At least we got it here, and that's what counts. We'll worry about the second part next time.
Down to the port, the escort gets on the phone, calls in all your information, and you'll go to the terminal where you need to pick up the car, and then if you have time before they go to lunch, to show you where the car is. So if you want to take a chance on that, that's fine.
All right, we have arrived here at the port of Baltimore. First, we have to come here and get some kind of an entry slip, I suspect, and then we have to go to an escort service. Not that kind of an escort service, but the kind that takes you to the dock and lets you pick up the Tatra. So let's go get the slip of paper, and then it's off to the escort. The blue van in front of us belongs to the escort, and check it out. As you can see it, he's got an NHRA sticker on his van. So we once again hopefully lucked out with somebody who's a car guy, and he'll appreciate why we're doing this, because it could be somebody who doesn't care about cars and we're just another $50 an hour customer for them. But with this guy, if he loves cars, hopefully he'll appreciate what we're trying to do here. So we keep getting lucky. Tatra, you can start. Oh no! Look at that!
Oh, come on! Roman, that is so cool!
There she is!
Oh my god!
We got her! We got the Tatra!
That looks way better than all the videos that I've seen.
What do you think, Nathan?
It's kind of cute.
Yeah?
It's kind of cute. I love it. It's bigger than I thought too.
Oh, it's big. You can really tell it's much heavier when you're towing with it. Guys, go look at it. It's open. The keys are in the wrapper. I gotta go do the paperwork.
That looks like the old Chevy 348.
Look at that Volkswagen.
That ain't no Volkswagen.
It's air-cooled V8. Roman, this is so awesome.
It's already dripping oil on
Oh, awesome it is.
it's already dripping oil on Ken's brand new trailer.
We'll spray paint the trailer when we get it back.
Yeah, so that was quite the experience, gang.
Yeah, I bet it was.
I had the cops called on us.
Why?
Well, you're not supposed to take pictures in the
okay.
dock. Yeah, and the escort saw the Hemi and decided to take a picture of it. It wasn't even me. It was the escort who got us in trouble. But yeah, it started up pretty much right away.
Yeah.
And runs like a champ. Want to hear it? Should we start it?
Yes, please.
Let's start. All right, gang, we are working as a team to drive this old girl across the country. Because when we get to Pebble Beach, when they ask us, how'd you get in here? We drove it, y'all, because that's what we are about. TFL does not trailer. We just wanted to get it out of Baltimore, out of the mess that is the harbor, but we are here in beautiful rural, what is this? Where are we?
We're in Maryland.
We might be Maryland. Somewhere in Maryland. And we're gonna get this Tatra down. We're gonna get her filled up with gas. And hopefully we're gonna get the linkage fixed so that we can drive her for the next 3,500 or 4,000 miles all the way to Pebble Beach. Okay, hopefully I won't have to take this apart again. I'm just gonna hand tighten it just in case I do. Good, good.
Oh my god! Holy crap! This steering wheel is huge!
Ganga to Thunderpants. Come in, Thunderpants. You are now at 70 miles per hour. Repeat, 70 mph.
Thank you, we are at 70 miles per hour, thank you.
I know how to do the conversion.
Yeah, no cup holder. I mean,
I know.
No cup
That's
holder.
the worst thing too. You know how I am about my sodas and my driving.
3,000 miles to go.
Yeah!
Or
That's
more.
all.
But she's running like a champ.
She is. I'm super surprised actually. Like as far as just going here in a straight line, I feel pretty comfortable. I mean, yeah, the steering wheel's big and it's really heavy. The steering is really heavy, but just cruising, I can see how you can just cruise in this all day long.
And we'll be doing that for
3,000 miles.
over all day long. Of course, there's no air conditioning.
No, there's no air conditioning.
And the heater starts the car on fire, so it's a good thing we don't need that. This car is so completely, utterly out of place here.
It really is. We've been on the road for 5 minutes. We've gotten like 10 thumbs up from people. It's incredible.
What is this? I mean, day 50?
Something like that.
That's what it feels like.
I feel like I've just been on the road for forever, and I'm a road trip gal.
So yesterday we drove about 6 hours, so about 300 to 400 miles. You know, the Tatra is doing okay. The engine's running like a top.
Oh, I can't believe I was so surprised. I thought for sure when we got onto those hills that it would just lose power, and it doesn't. It just keeps going.
Yeah, it's like a top. The issue is, of course, the transmission. It's very hard to get in and out of gear, and it could be one of two things. It could be an alignment issue, or it could be a transmission issue. The alignment issue is very possible because there's like 17 linkages to get to the transmission, and we've been screwing with it. So I'm hoping it's that.
Yeah.
Once it's in 4th gear.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's Neil Young. Usually I have to kind of choke a little bit on the coffee and I really get the voice up there. Well, Ohio, yeah. This car's made it through 2 states.
But I am over the moon that we got the Tatra this far. And I'm just really curious to see what happens when we get to Pebble Beach, because right now you would think the folks at the concourse, the ADLEN, would be pretty excited to have somebody come in who's driven a Tatra that they're featuring all the way from Prague. But maybe they don't want drivers, maybe they want trailer queens. This car certainly wouldn't stand up to any kind of a thorough inspection, but you know what? I don't give a rat's ass. The thing's alive. The thing has taken us all the way from Liberec to Prague to Bremerhaven to Baltimore to Chicago and now to Boulder. And that is worth more in my mind than any 100-point car will ever be. Wahoo! Can you believe it? Come on over.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to not be driving. Look, he thinks he's the dignitary.
Well, guys, we made it. Prague to Chicago. Can you believe that?
This is crazy. This car did so well. I can't believe it.
I had no clue it was going to go this far. Nathan, what did you think?
I thought it would be blowing up by now. It's done really well. It's a good little car. It really is.
So now, unfortunately, we have to bid farewell and adieu to our lovely EMME. Nathan and I are going to continue on all the way to Boulder, because that is the way to Pebble Beach.
That's right. And we're going to just bang it up along the way.
You know what? I think you should be wearing this. Nathan, we're here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and guess what we found?
We found the National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library.
And best of all, we found something very special indeed inside.
That's right, baby. They have a Tatra 603 as well.
And I had a little bit of a walk through my very young childhood, because I was actually born in the Czech Republic, and they have an exhibition that kind of documents freedom, or the lack thereof, in Czechoslovakia. And it's very touching.
Yeah, it is. I hate to say it is, but it is. And more importantly, it's very informative because it gives you a taste of what this car kind of went through when it was created and eventually brought here.
Outside. I'm really worried about the engine. We're going to try to pull over at the next gas station and see if we can figure out how hot it is, because we don't want to cook it. Just our luck. We've had really great weather until now. Can you believe it hit 97 degrees at 6:30 at night? Yeah, so it's pretty hot. I mean, that's the hottest part of the engine, but it's not like it's excessively hot. I think this engine's doing okay. We are here in Brighton where we started just a few days ago with our help from Mr. Truck Kent and of course Nathan. Embrace your inner bohemian, Nathan. You just did for...
Check it out. Check it out.
Check it out. So the next part of our trip is from Boulder to Pebble Beach. Well, Nathan, here we are. Another morning, another truck stop.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing. It starts the western leg of our trip.
Yep, we're heading to Pebble Beach finally. We're just outside of Boulder, Colorado, and over there is I-25, which heads north.
That's right. We're going to go through Wyoming.
Cheyenne, hang a left.
The left, yeah, and
Then over to Salt Lake City, over a mountain pass. Then Nevada.
Yeah.
And then Tahoe, another mountain pass. And then finally California and Pebble Beach. That's a long way. And we're about to cross into our 11th state. Can you believe that? 11 states through Utah and into Nevada. Here's the point of entry. And after this, I think we are out of Utah. And unfortunately, nope, Andre didn't get any extra wives, and neither did Nathan. So we're just still stuck with just one wife apiece. All right, dude. Last part of this journey. Let's do it.
Yep, let's do it.
Nathan, check this out. Salty.
Yeah, like the tears of all the baby children we've corrupted over the years.
Welcome to the Bonneville Salt Flats, or in this case, the Bonneville Watery Salt Flats. You know, Nathan, I feel terrible for all those guys who are supposed to be out here this week trying to set records. Obviously, unless you're in a boat. You seem to have the magic touch in starting this car. She just purrs for you. What is it about you and old women?
That's right, older chicks did. And you know what? This baby, it needs a little bit more gas sometimes, a little bit less gas other times. It has two carburetors, and they're not exactly what I'd call the model of efficiency. They're supposed to be clones of Bosch carburetors, but if you just splash a little bit of fuel in them and kind of give it a little bit of air to catch up, it seems like it wants to spark and go. There's not a lot of resistance.
You know, I think the secret ingredient is love.
It is love.
Nathan, why did we have to stop here?
To make sure we're not importing anything that is illegal and or unwanted in California.
What would that be?
Fruits, Roman.
Roman? Is he behind us still?
I hope so.
I'm not carrying any fruit, are you?
So, we're at the top of the Donner Pass here just outside of Tahoe, and when we've paid the most we've ever paid for gas. We're after, that was about $140. And the Tatra, that was only about $40. So every time we fill these things up, it's almost $180 here in California. It's very expensive.
$189 now.
Yeah, Nathan's got his food, so we're all set to do that final run down into Pebble Beach, and hopefully we won't get stuck in traffic in San Jose, because that would be very painful on that car.
Leave it open. Let me get my camera.
Yeah, you bet. Take a picture of it. Yeah. See, everywhere you go, you can't help but get people who are interested in this car, because it's something that nobody knows. People think it's a Citroen or a Tucker, but it's a Tatra. All right, Nathan, what do you see to your right?
That's the Pacific Ocean.
That's the Pacific freaking Ocean.
Beautiful too, nice and blue and some beautiful clouds.
Pacific Ocean. Look at that.
See the shining sheet?
Oh, sea to sea. She's gone. I see a sign for Laguna Seca. I think we are. I'm gonna say we are here, dude.
Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
Welcome to Monterey.
No bust.
So we made it here.
Actually, no Pebble. But no bust.
You know what we've done with this car since we got it off the boat in the United States? We've added gas, oil, cleaning fluid, and we aired up the tires. And that is about it. I cannot think of anything else we've had to do.
3 more things.
What?
Love, sweat, and tears. We had to get the Tatra washed. There's a little bit of leakage. Here we are in Monterey, 14 miles. After almost 4,000, it seems like nothing.
You know what? Even if they don't let us in,
Which they won't.
they probably won't.
No, they won't. We'll try, but they won't.
Even if so, I am so proud of the fact that we did it. We went and did something special. Every inch of the way, this baby did it. And how many other people can say they did anything remotely close to this that are going to be at this concourse? Oh, maybe 5%. They've done something where they've done cross-country in an old car. I love it. I love the fact that we did this.
Yeah, we took a car, we took it out of storage, we brought it back to life, and we made it a living, breathing thing. I mean, she to me is a living, breathing thing. This is a real person. I know that sounds weird, but it is.
No, it doesn't sound weird to me at all. Cars have personality. Sometimes it takes a while for them to acquire a personality. Sometimes the automakers know how to give a little bit of a personality. This car is just dripping with personality.
Alright, Nathan, here we go. Last time for the old girl. Off the legends of the Autobahn. Turn our lights on. Did we lose it?
No, I think we still got it. Yeah, I hear it.
Head southwest on Cross Avenue.
Car comes with navigation.
Yeah. We lost it. That's right, she starts right up.
Well, this is Prague-like weather.
It is Prague like weather. She should feel very comfortable here. Okay, here we go. Woohoo! Very misty here in Monterey, huh?
Nathan, I can't believe we are here. 12 states, 2 continents, almost 4,000 miles, and we are in Monterey on a golf course. It may not be Pebble, but you know what? It's a golf course.
It's not just a golf course, folks. This is Legends of the Autobahn. I mean, these are some of the finest German automobiles in the world, and they're right here being judged.
And of course, the Tatra's not being judged, but she is getting just as much notice. People are amazed. What was that one guy who just said?
Oh yeah, one guy looked at it and he said, it reminds me of something Jules Verne would design.
It's true. Andre, show them the company that the old girl's keeping. Nathan, how cool is that?
I am so thrilled to be here, and it's, you know, what a way to end in a beautiful place with these amazing cars and amazing, amazing people. Hell yeah, we did it.
Hell yeah. So we decided to do this on a shoestring budget. We thought to ourselves, we can go get a Tatra for $15,000. We'll still have $10,000 to get the Tatra to Pebble Beach. Well, when I got to Prague, there's no way you could get a Tatra for $15,000 that's going to go from Prague to Liberec, which is where I bought the car, 120 kilometers, let alone all the way to Pebble Beach. The problem is that Tatras are in the Czech Republic like muscle cars are here. They've gone up in price, and the reason for that is because these cars were very popular when the people who now are older were young. And so everybody who's got money in the Czech Republic remembers these cars from their youth and they want them now. It's just like having a Challenger. Yeah, I know this is no Hellcat, but to the Czechs, this has a very similar cachet. So we bought the car and ended up spending about $24,000 on it. All that, getting the car here, that was another $10,000. So now $39,000 in total. The company can't afford, especially in a time when journalism, automotive journalism is basically dying because the internet has made everything free. It just can't afford to suck that much money out of TFL, and in the end, it's going to have to be sold.
That works out real well. So you drove all the way to Pebble and then back to Colorado in it?
Yeah, basically. It was a long way. Without air conditioning, without cruise control. It was funny, we were in Omaha.
Yeah.
And I have a chase truck, right? We had that Raptor as a chase truck, and my buddy Nathan's in there, and I'm like, Nathan, how warm is it? And he's like, oh, it's 85. I'm like, oh, air-cooled V8, this can't be good. A few miles later, how warm is it? 90. I'm like, oh, how warm is it? 98. And I'm thinking this engine's gonna melt down into like a molten bunch of metal, right? And the car just kept trucking along, no problem. As long as we kept moving, it was all good.
The old VWs, they all ran good.
Yeah, really well designed.
Heavy old girl too.
Oh yeah, very heavy.
I wonder what this does what?
2,000 kilograms, which is
3,500.
Yep. For back in the day, yeah. All right, gang, this is indeed a very bittersweet moment for me because, as you can see, there's a big truck behind the old girl, and that's because we'll be shipping her out today. We had to sell her using Bring a Trailer. It was a really nice experience, great auction. At the end of the day, the old Tatra 603 is going to a good home. She's going to kind of a unique car museum out in Boston. So that makes me happy, because I think that there'll be at least other people who can enjoy the uniqueness of this car and really appreciate it for what it is, which is kind of an interesting sidelight in the annals of automotive history. An air-cooled 2.5 liter V8 right there that got us all the way from Prague to Pebble Beach, 4,000 miles. So as we get ready to load it on the truck, I have to say I'm a little sad, but I'm also happy that the Tatra is going to a great new home, and I couldn't ask for a better end to a really interesting and fun adventure. So thanks for watching, and this has been just a little coda, kind of giving you where the Tatra is going, and just a period at the end of this incredible adventure. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fastlane Car. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye, girl.